Hey there, Dr. Charlie Brown here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us take our 3 deep breaths together and collect ourselves. Ready? You're breathing all the way into the bottom of your belly and filling it up like a balloon. One more time, breathe in serenity and breathe out stress. I thought I was going to talk to you about what came of a conversation I was having yesterday, but that's not what's on my heart and mind right this moment. What is the idea of keep going, keep seeing something through. I know that once upon a time I do a lot of energy work in the morning before I get my day started. And it was starting to work. Things were starting to change in my life, and then I stopped. Part of it for me has been moving. I notoriously move a whole lot. And I kind of get in the rhythm of something and then move and have to start from zero or virtually zero in the new place. And so really the idea of continuing to do the work with a capital T and a capital W. Another example that's coming to mind for me, I have been an educator for a long time, and I was teaching a class. It was during my master's thesis, and for my master's thesis, I wrote and performed a one-woman show with no theater background. I basically got my master's degree in my own emotional awareness, which is not for the faint of heart, and I don't necessarily recommend it. The other side is glorious, but it was my last semester, my last quarter. And so that's kind of thick. I was kind of thick in me. And I agreed to teach this class. It was a leadership class for teenagers. And I agreed to teach this class because I'd taught it before. I basically filled out that curriculum. I didn't quite create it. They gave that curriculum to me as kind of a skeletal, bare bones, and I fleshed it. I fleshed it out. So I taught it before. I was familiar with the curriculum. I get to the class, and I'm clear by the end of day one that my cute little theoretical curriculum, leadership curriculum, is not going to work. These kids this was supposed to be their elective time, and they had gotten pulled out for extra math and English help in the morning, and I had them in the afternoon. So they got to me angry and very unwilling to do anything because this was supposed to be their elective time. This was also an elective they didn't choose. They got placed into this class. So there was one young lady, we'll call her Yolanda. That's not her name. Wait, before we get to Yolanda, so what I figured out after the first day that this wasn't going to work, and by the second day I was 150% clear about that. So I went home. My supervisor, we were a team that came into this school. So my supervisor, he had worked with me for some time at this point, and he trusted me. He understood what I could do and what I was capable of. We talked to the principals. I went home every night and talked to my sister, or called my sister every night because she's really creative. And so I understood that these kids needed a creative way to do leadership in action instead of theoretical leadership, which is what the original curriculum was. So, Yolanda was pretty smart, pretty street smart too. She was pretty street savvy, as many of these kids were. And she was the one who, we had some friction. We had very clear friction. And I understand that. I had similar sorts of power struggles when I was a teenager as well. Very strong, very powerful teenager. And so, with my sister's help every night, I'd come back in with activities for them. We had to make it very, very experiential. One of the activities was, there were 19 students in the class. So I picked 19 different things, and they had to get everyone in the classroom to do this thing. Now, I envisioned that one way, and I didn't expect them to do it at first until one of the students said, Miss Brown, is this, can we really not go to lunch, or whatever it was, whatever I had said, can we really not do this until we finish this? And I was like, oh, you're interested. Yes. And so what they did, he and Yolanda, they collected everybody's task. It was on a little piece of paper. They collected everybody's task, and then they just said, all right, here's what we're going to do. And I'm like, oh, leadership in action, eh? Yolanda, because there was friction, we were in constant conversation. And with that conversation, at one point I said to her, it is clear that you have leadership capabilities, but where are you leading people? And that took her aback. No one had ever told her that before. I'm nearly certain of that. But she had all these things. She really did. She really was a strong leader. And she was at a critical point in her life where she was either going to take a path that may not be so helpful for her, or she could do amazing things with these leadership qualities that she was butting up against me, who also has a strong personality. And we were butting up against each other in that regard. And so Yolanda, though, is the example to me when I think back about how continuing to do the work really does work. Keep going. What we ended up doing in that class was, it was a fairly new school, and so the rules were not set in stone. So the students picked one topic, and they picked student uniforms. They picked one topic that then we did research, and they presented soft drafts to some of the teachers. Bless those teachers. Bless teachers everywhere, for real. They did a soft presentation. The teachers offered some feedback, and they turned in a formal proposal to the office to get that rule changed. And I worked with that school system for a few years, and that school had actually adopted that proposal, that iterative proposal process for some of their future work. But really, this story is about Yolanda. Really, Yolanda, she showed me parts of myself also that I was having friction with. And where am I leading myself? Where am I leading people to? All the questions I asked her, I would have to ask myself. And really the process of seeing something through, of continuing to do something when it gets hard. If I had stopped on day 1 or day 2, these kids wouldn't have gotten some of these aspects. And we phrased it as games, but I knew that they were difficult games. I knew that they were games that push you a little bit. And we definitely pushed boundaries, all of us. And I was praying that a teacher wouldn't come in and maybe report me for some of the boundaries we were pushing, just as far as physical space. Not really going to get into that here on this forever internet. But the kids opened up. These teenagers who were angry, I got them so angry, they started to open up and realize that when the young man said, do we really have to do this, Miss Brown? You do want something different. You do want something better. So having that expectation for them, but really for me, seeing it through, seeing the work through. When things don't always work at first, so you figure out what pieces you need to change or rearrange or move or whatever you need to do, and then you keep doing the work. And so my lesson today in this moment is to keep doing the work. And I was thinking about that because as I said, I do energy work, and I hadn't been doing my energy work, and then my head hurts and I'm super tired, and why? Because I'm not doing the thing that has been keeping my my body's energies balanced. I'm not doing the thing. So okay, I've told you a lot today. I try to keep these 5 minutes. This is probably close to 10. And we will close it there. Yolanda I haven't been in contact with her since, but I know that I got through to her at that point. Eventually, I don't think she'd ever heard someone have higher expectations for her than what she was used to. So that's true for me too, though, right? I can have higher expectations or different expectations or whatever. I can change my expectations for myself and keep doing the work. See the thing through, because it does change, and change is change follows the rules of momentum. So you little bit, little bit, little bit, and then suddenly things move really quickly. So that is my offer for today. I am Dr. Charli Brown. A couple places you can find me here, Charli Chats. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Charli Brown, and also drcharlibrown.com, my website, Facebook as well at Dr. Charli Brown. So I'm doing the social media things. I do have a website. You can reach out in any of those ways. Always great to connect with you, and until we meet again, I want you to take great care.